You going out slight sad. Boy, I'm all about my bag. New drip, I grab. I just wanna get my life back. There's no complaining on this side. My is not tolerated, cause some off like an operation. Now my team way more consolidated. Sweet presidential, that's inauguration. Cause we cooking like Ronald Reagan. Chip on my shoulder, boy, I'm not for waiting. Divine timing took a lot of patience. Now it's time for the takeover. All gas and the brake slower. Took a trip out to Tokyo, now I'm here in Paris for the layover. Oh, boy, your day's over. You mad at me cause your pay slower.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream of the Midweek Athlete Pod. We got a very special guest. We got our guy Vala in the building. He's been with us a couple times. Vala, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there. You know, I didn't think we'd be talking off-season talk before, mid-May, but here we are. No better host to do it with than Evan. Glad to be back on the podcast. Always a fan. And yeah, man, let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Let's just jump right into it. So, Vala, I've known you for a long time. You've known me for a long time. We both have the love for our Houston Rockets. Man, I have to be honest with you before we even get into these questions. I haven't been this depressed in the Rockets since 2018. It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. So just quick thoughts, how you feeling before we start getting into these questions, man? How are you truly feeling over the last, just now that you've let these few days just kind of pass, right? How have you been feeling?
Let me take you on an emotional journey with me, okay? So think about, as a Houston sports fan, what we just experienced from our football team, right? You have this generational defense that steps into the perfect window of opportunity in a depleted AFC, going up against a first-time playoff quarterback. And what do? We have a historic collapse, all-timer, right?
All-timer.
And fast forward to, April and May of this year, the Houston Rockets are in a very similar position here. You've got a 52-win season from a team that, people didn't have high expectations for. You're missing out your starting point guard on a roster that isn't necessarily stacked with backcourt talent, mind you, with Fred VanVleet. You lose your starting center in Steven Adams, who turned out to be your godsend in the playoffs last year, and really the cornerstone of this offensive identity, or should I say lack of any offensive identity, in just let's outstrength the other team, out-hustle them, and beat them on the boards. And you go in and end up winning 52 games, albeit you miss out on home court advantage this year, but you chance into a first-round matchup with the Lakers, the depleted Lakers, missing their top two scorers, a 41-year-old LeBron James. And what do?
You wet
First,
the bed.
you have your all-NBA guy, Kevin Durant, who's played, the second highest minutes in the NBA this year, who only missed 4 games in the regular season, have a freak injury at practice. And then, like you said, you wet the bed. You go down 3-0. You lose a game you probably shouldn't have in game 3. And then you lose KD for the rest of the series, and, the rest is history. So how I felt was one of the all-time lows as a Rockets fan. You just feel like you missed out on an opportunity. Like, I remember my first real season as a Houston Rockets fan being 04-05. The first T-Mac and Yao season, right? All this hope, the next Kobe and Shaq after they had split up in LA. And what do? We blow a 2-0 lead to the Dallas Mavericks, a series that we should have won, that we would have a good window to go to conference finals with. And it just feels like a missed opportunity, Evan. Now, how I feel about it going forward, I've got a lot to say about that. But let me toss it back to you, because the emotions are at an all-time low right now.
Yeah, and we will definitely get to that. But shout out, your favorite person in the whole world, Keith, is in the chat, man. So,
oh, wow.
And so right now he just sent a comment that the Rockets are boo-boo. But, I just wanted to let you know that Keith is in the chat. He's with us. Got a couple others, so appreciate y'all being in the chat with us today. But yeah, so Keith, make sure you keep the comments coming.
Understandable. When people look back on past grievances, we have a guy in the chat here who actually got dusted by me in every cross country race that we ran. So this is the medium to let these emotions out again. I'd like to say.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Oh my God. And then we also got West, depressed Rockets fans. West, I wish you were here to join us, brother. But yeah,
I got some words for West next time we see each other.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, before we get started. Keith said, "Why are you lying about the cross country?" Keith, I can attest. I don't think he's lying about this.
Yeah, there's no lies. You're more than welcome to hop on the podcast in the future, Keith, and we can hash matters out.
All right, man. So my first question to you is, what grade would you give the Rockets this season? So you're gonna go and then I'll chime in.
I think overall for the season, this has got to be about a solid B, right? You went in with lowered expectations, missing your starting point guard, but you still took a swing, man. You swung for the fences and got a 37-year-old KD who just gave you probably was going to be an all-NBA second team season, being a 26, 5-5 guy on 50-40, basically 90 splits. And you didn't take additional steps at the trade deadline. That, hindsight's always 2020, but a guy like Ayo out of the Timberwolves or any, serviceable backup point guard would have done wonders for this team, especially in the playoffs. So that's kind of hard to swallow. Now, a few of your guys developmentally maybe didn't take the step forward that you thought they were going to take, which is also I would say a mark against this organization's ability to develop talent in-house. So B in that regard, but on the upside, if you want to kind of do the other perspective on this as Rockets fans, look at the optimistic side. That doesn't make this a C or a D. You still have a lot of flexibility with this core in place, right? The only person who might be up for an extension in a couple of years, you're looking at probably Amen Thompson. There has been linked to a lot of high contract talks, but you have a lot of flexibility. You've got your starting point guard coming back next year on an extended break in rehab. You've got Steven Adams coming back next year, high ankle sprain. He's going to have plenty of time to rest up. And continuity matters in the NBA to some degree, especially in this new CBA format where teams are breaking up and losing pieces left and right, like what happened to Denver in the first round this year. And so bringing this core back and making some key roster adjustments to shore up your backcourt and to get a little more, I don't want to say depth at the wing positions, but guys that just fit a little bit better, right? Tari Eason is one of those guys that's being linked to a lot of potential moves. He's going to be a restricted free agent for the team this summer. Jabari Smith is a guy who has a lot of value and is on a bargain contract as it stands right now. And, I hate to say it, but for all my Turkish fans out there, Alperen Şengün, a lot of noise around him as far as, is he the cornerstone of this team? And is he a guy that Ime Udoka can adapt to and coach and fit in as his primary player going forward? So are the Rockets a C? Are they a D? Are they an F? I don't think so. It's not all doom and gloom. You're still set up to be a contention level team, and you would have been this year had you been healthy. And some would argue you still, to some degree, were if you had a healthy KD and the team didn't wet the bed in historic fashion. So you're still set up for contention. You have continuity. You're in a division where, hey, you got San Antonio and Victor Wembanyama to deal with. But aside from that, the West is still kind of open going forward with what we've seen. And so B for now. This wasn't a season where we went for the goals that we originally had planned for. But given everything that happened, I think there's some things to be optimistic about as Rockets fans.
I hear you. And you're not completely wrong. I actually gave them a C+. And here's why. For me, there wasn't really much improvement from last year to this year. The only difference is that we got the great Kevin Durant. But 52 wins last year, 52 wins this year. Top 10 defense last year, top 10 defense this year. For me, even with Fred going down, which we'll get into Ime and Rafael Stone a little bit later, because I got some things I got to say about him.
Oh, me too. Bro.
even with him going down, I will be the first to tell you, and Wes will be the first to tell you, because we both agree on this. In a man I trust, right? Like, hey, let's just give the point guard reins to a man. Like it shouldn't be that much of a drop off, right? But early on, you saw that there was a huge deficit in leadership and truly just a sense of urgency. There was no kind of urgency within that offense. Defensively, you got it. Cool. Like top 10 for a reason, right? But offensively, there was just no type of urgency. Nobody was getting into sets, didn't have a point guard, didn't have this. We had Kevin Durant playing point guard, which I love Kevin Durant to death, but he's not your primary ball handler. He's not your point guard. So what are we doing here? And so I give him a C just because, like I said, there just really wasn't really much improvement. I mean, if you literally swap the two teams together, like it's the same team, just two different players. So yeah, I'm stuck on that C plus. I really feel like they had an average year. Obviously, injuries cost every team in some way, shape, or form. But like I said, we'll get into Rafael Stone a little bit later. So yeah, y'all drop a comment. Let us know what grade y'all would give the Rockets for their season this year. So Vala, I just brought up Rafael Stone. I just brought up Ime. Let's start with Stone first. He's got to go. He's got to go. You know what? I want to show you something because I don't know if you got to see this or not. And the reason for me that he needs to go is just because this whole point guard situation. Now, any good GM out there, or let me not say good, any reasonable GM out there, if your starting point guard goes down, wouldn't the first thing to do is just like, hey, let me just go see what's on the market, like, so we can still be within that trajectory of, hey, we're going to go try to contend for a championship here. So I want to show you two things that he said in his exit interview. I don't know if you had a chance to see this or not, but I just want you to hear what I heard, right? So just check this out.
We should have done better.
Raphael, you've mentioned a couple times competitive, but when you bring in a guy like Durant, when you make a move like you made last offseason, certainly it seems like you're looking for more than just to be able to compete, right?
No.
So you weren't thinking championship.
That's part of competing. Like you just go out and compete. Like there's no trade I can make. There's no draft pick I can make that is going to say, oh, we're guaranteed a championship. That's not it. You have to compete. This is a hard league. Like the margins are very thin. Sometimes the hardest series a team has on the way to its championship run is their first round series. So like, to me, what the goal is to put a roster in place that has a chance to compete for a championship, but that doesn't mean if you don't make the finals or something, you failed. Like in terms of putting together a roster that can compete, you want one that can compete. And not once did I ever say with respect to bringing Kevin in that it was championship or bust. I never said that to him. I never said that to anybody. That's very much not our attitude.
Okay. My take on this before you go. Now, Vala, you've played sports for a long time. Hell, we were even teammates at one point. The goal, regardless, is you want to win, right? You want to compete. So why is it that when we get the great Kevin Durant, it's, oh no, we're just trying to compete. It's not championship or bust. We're just trying to compete. No, absolutely not. Like that's not the mindset you need to have. Kevin Durant is a generational, one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen touch a basketball. And you mean to tell me the mindset is not championship or bust? Are you kidding me? You go, please. Before I end up saying something I'm going to end up regretting, you go, because that's just mind-boggling to me that you have that mindset that, hey, we're just going to compete and whatever happens, happens. I understand that to an extent. But when you have Kevin Durant on your team, it's championship mindset, not, oh, we're just going to compete. Compete in the NBA is you're rebuilding, in my honest opinion. You're rebuilding if you're competing, not when you have this person. But you go ahead.
I mean, you don't have to say to Kevin or to anyone that it's championship or bust. When you get a 37-year-old Kevin Durant on a $40+ million a year contract, you're trying to win a championship, right? And I think Raphael, shout out to the law degree in him. He is a lawyer at heart, and he's lawyering up with a few of these questions because early in the season when, we had this instance of Fred going down around training camp, beginning of the season, they asked Raphael, I can't remember if it was the beginning of the season or a quarter way through the season. They asked him, do you plan on making any roster adjustments? And this is in response to Amen being the point guard. He said, no, this is just it. To sum it up, he said, this just kind of isn't our year, right? We lost Amen, or we lost Fred. We don't have Steve. Some years just aren't it. And we're going to chalk it up to bad luck. And a lot of Rockets fans really criticized him for this, that, if it only took 4 second-round picks for the Wolves to get a guy like Ayo, who gave them a 40 piece in the first round, was it really exhausting your vault of riches to go out and make a slight roster tweak to maximize what you have in Kevin Durant? Evan, I've seen a lot of Rockets ball, man. I've seen a lot of Rockets regular season basketball.
So have I. Yes.
There are seasons of guys that come to mind right away for me, right? Numbers aside, just feel wise. The 2019 Harden season where he went on how many games in a row with 30+, 40+ points and got robbed of an MVP. The 04-05 McGrady season, just what that dude did in a Jeff Van Gundy offense. Kevin Durant is here with this roster construction, with the pieces just kind of like mismatched Lego pieces coming together, and Ime Udoka with the most anemic offense I've seen since Jeff Van Gundy and Tom Thibodeau. What he did this year, the twilight season that he had, truly, what a shame. What a shame.
What a shame.
And again, it's Houston fans. We see a lot of that, right? Think about JJ Watt with the Texans, what we wasted in his prime and his, all-time defensive capabilities. And it feels that same way with KD. So, how do I respond to Raphael Stone saying all this? You're sounded like a lawyer, my guy, because you weren't singing the same tune a few months ago. And,
you weren't.
And now, in the worst way possible, these deficiencies that you ignored reared their ugly head, whether it's game 3 at home where you turn the ball over twice in the last 25 seconds to give up a historic lead and lose in overtime at home, or just the fact that, you've been a team that hasn't been able to take care of the ball. You're one of the worst teams in clutch time. You had the most clutch time games of any other team during the regular season, and you had a below 500 record in those games. Just a bad look all around. Am I on board with canning Raphael Stone? Do I think he should go? I think there's a conversation in Rockets front office brass, a very uncomfortable conversation that needs to be had. When you start looking at the body of work that Raphael Stone has had, right? Multiple 60-loss seasons, multiple top 3 picks. What do we have to show for it? A young core that combined together couldn't really take on the Lakers B team. And you look at now in retrospect, all the first-round picks that he's missed on, all the lottery picks that, some of it's bad luck that you ended up a couple picks behind Wemby and a pick behind Cade and 1 pick behind Chet. But at the same time, there were other guys out there that could have maybe contributed to a winning roster better than a guy like, say, Reed Shepherd, who that's a conversation we can have as well. I think Reed and Ahmed are 2 guys we need to talk about, but I think he's on the hot seat. Is he out? I don't think so. I think the Fertittas are a forgiving bunch, and these are their guys from day one, and they want to see this through with a healthy, full roster. But certainly as a Rockets fan, frustrating to see, man.
It is definitely frustrating. And I actually have another clip for you. But before we get to that, we have a couple of comments. So Wes thinks, do you really think a man will ever take the shooting leap? And what could help him develop? Well, first and foremost, we need a new skill development coach in the Rockets, because the fact that he still can't shoot is very alarming. But I would love to see a man get in the gym with a guy like Chris Brickley, a guy like Lethal Shooter. Hell, get in the gym with Kevin Durant and just work, just shoot, just get up a bunch of reps, man. That's really me. I think he can take that leap, but it depends on his work ethic.
He looked so comfortable in the preseason. He shot like 40, I don't know if it was 40, high 30s, low 40%. He came out in the regular season and missed like his first 20 to 30 3-point shots. So just a shame to see the trajectory that took, him being a 20% 3-point shooter this year. Can he develop it? Amen's a weird dude. All he cares about is basketball. All he talks about is basketball. All he watches is film of basketball. Troubling to see that this hasn't developed the way we thought it would in year 3 of his Rockets tenure. But I think it's still possible. And I think more importantly, what Amen can do is develop that kind of like 10 to 15 range kind of jump shot, that mid-range pull up, where when he's going downhill, if those defenses don't respect him and they keep backing off, you can pull up and get that mid-range shot, especially in the Rockets offense that lacks a true playmaker and needs a bailout kind of off the dribble guy at times, which he was still this season. But I think that's an area we can expect to come sooner than the 3-point shot.
I agree. And then Keith wanted to shout you out for your vocabulary. He says it's truly developed. So just
the olive branch. Okay. See, we don't always have to be at war, Keith. It doesn't have to be me giving you buckets and me looking back at you on the track. This can be a positive relationship.
Jesus Christ. Oh man, we need to have a stream with you and Keith just to hash all this out, because I love it right now. So while we're still on Rafael Stone, he also in his exit interview talked about not getting a point guard when Freddie went down. So I want to play this for you too.
So Fred coming back would add a lot. If the opportunity comes in to get a good positive player who's also really skilled, like, we'll jump on it. The issue is just like, what I don't believe in, I guess philosophically, is just going to get a point guard because they're a point guard. And let's just say somebody is a very good ball handler and passer, but they can't defend and they can't shoot. Well, I'd rather just cobble it together than, okay, yeah, we can get into our offense good, but like no one guards them after they make the initial pass. And then on the other end, they're just a sieve. And those players do exist in the NBA. There's quite a few of them. And they're available. But I didn't think that would make us better on the whole. So I think it's always an opportunity cost. And there's lots of ways to win basketball games. There's lots of ways to lose them. My goal is simply to win. And aesthetics just aren't that important to me. And so like,
Rafael. Okay, let me. Okay, all right. It's the fact that your starting point guard went out. Okay, Vala, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong in my thinking here as a Rockets fan, but there was a guy who got let go by the Clippers by the name of Chris Paul. Everybody in the world knows that he's on his retirement tour. Like, this is CP's last year. If I'm Rafael Stone, matter of fact, if I'm the GM of the Houston Rockets, and I saw that he's let go, and I know for damn sure I need a point guard, CP's my first call. He like honestly, he has to. And the thing about it is, you don't have to give CP like a 2-3 year like contract. You literally give him the vet minimum. Hey, CP, we really need a point guard, finish out this year for us. But no.
Which is the only guy they could get, right? So one of the big blunders for Raphael Stone that we haven't talked about yet is signing Dorian Finney-Smith to the mid-level. That put him at the hard tax, which really limited any kind of moves that they could make. When you're at the hard cap in today's CBA, if you want to make a trade, you've got to match salaries about to the T, which makes who you can trade and who you want to trade kind of difficult. And then from a free agency standpoint, yeah, that's all you got. Vet min. That's all you can get when you're hard capped the way that we were hard capped. So what's strange to me is when you go out and you mortgage the first guy in your rebuild, Jalen Green, the guy who the space logo is basically branded after, right, for your new city team logo for the Rockets. You give that up along with your culture setter in Dylan Brooks for Kevin Durant. You're telling me that your championship hopes rested on your 32-year-old starting point guard who just gave you 16 and 6 on sub 40% field goal and 3-point shooting. Yeah. And him going down is us waving the white flag on the season. Just unacceptable. That's
yeah, exactly.
For organizations that have a winning expectation, an established culture, that is absolutely unacceptable. And I think for the Rockets, the hard position that they're in terms of their front office and their culture is, they brought in Fred VanVleet, they brought in Dylan Brooks, they brought in Steven Adams to change their culture. Because prior to them coming in, we had a very AAU, no vets in the building, a rebuild with just a bunch of young guys, KPJ leaving the game at halftime, right? Yep. Silas having no respect in the locker room. And we brought in these culture guys. And I think to a fault, this front office has prioritized maintaining this new culture and this new brand around the Rockets than bringing in any guys who could potentially disrupt that, whether that's CP3 in a vet minimum deal, or whether that's James Harden a couple off seasons back, who was linked heavily with the Rockets when the Fred VanVleet talks were coming up as well, who also was kind of available. He wasn't being touted as heavily on the trade market as he was in certain trade deadlines, but a guy you could have potentially gotten when things went down. So yeah, it's tough. Again, we're not going to see anyone held accountable for this. I don't think we could come back a month from now and Stone and Udoka are gone and we've blown the roster up. We went after a guy like Giannis or something, or Jaylen Brown. I don't know. But as it stands now, I think it's fair to say Stone's job is safe, as is Udoka's.
Yeah, it's just alarming that he's just like, I want to win. Clearly not, dude. It's just like you said earlier. From what you said months ago when the season started and what you're saying now is two totally different things. You basically just chalked the season up and just said, hey, we're going to trust him in, we're going to trust Reed, and we're just going to try to figure it out. You clearly just said, I didn't want to go get a point guard and because they can't shoot or do whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, don't get that kind of point guard. Find somebody that fits your mold. Find somebody that fits the team. Oh, Lord have mercy. If you don't think he's on the hot seat, I think his ass is on fire right now.
He should be. For every reason you pointed out, he should be. I don't get that sense in the Rockets front office or organization. I feel like the Fertittas trust this group and they want to see it through with, again, an unblemished year. But who knows if you're going to get an unblemished year? You got a 37 going on 38-year-old KD. You've got other guys on this roster who haven't proven to be Iron Men. Fred coming off an ACL tear at 32. Tari, who knows if you're going to re-sign him? He misses time every year. Adams, 32 years old, coming off a high ankle sprain. So yeah, it's not promised. And then Amen, to me, I think Amen Thompson is the best basketball player on this roster. I think he's an absolute freak. I think he's the
best athlete for sure. Yeah.
Aside from KD, the best basketball player we have. I'd say the second best guy we have right now. And seeing him in that short roll, free safety, kind of offensive hustle guy in year 2, it was a really disappointing year for him this year. And the truth of the matter is he's not a point guard. And could this point guard experiment have looked better with him? Sure. If you had a roster with shooters on it and you were able to complement him a little bit better and he didn't clash with Şengün early in the season the way he did just in terms of offensive philosophy. But yeah, again, put him back where he belongs. Get yourself a viable, second point guard. Is Reed Shepherd that guy? Another failure of this organization is that we didn't really get a chance to see that. So we don't know.
We didn't. Yeah. I mean, we didn't get to see that. And we did get to see it. We got a whole sample size of what Reed could do at the point guard position.
You're talking about the playoffs?
I'm just saying in general, right?
Okay.
Yeah, right? Like, I mean, I think it's fair to say that he's not going to be our point guard of the future. But I think if we get somebody who is an offensive mind on that coaching staff, which we're about to jump on Ime in just a second.
Yeah. I'm
not saying Reed is this type of player. I'm not saying he's this type of shooter. But if you put him in Steph-like screen actions and like get him off ball, I think that's where Reed really can thrive for sure, is having somebody just chase his ass side to side, up and down the floor, coming off pin down screens, UCLA screens, all the stuff we learned at Travis, and just having him just shoot the ball. I think that's going to be more his game than actually being the point guard of the team.
I agree with you. I think he's got that mold. I think, especially Kentucky, like he was mostly an off-ball guy with who's their starting point guard when he was there? It was another lottery guy.
Dillingham.
Yes, that's right.
Rob Dillingham.
Rob Dillingham. And moving him to the point guard position and really showcasing him against the Lakers in the biggest moment of the season. He had some good moments, but
he did.
There's a lot of Rockets fans out there, Evan, who think that Reed is still potentially a top 3 to 4 guy on a championship roster. I'm personally not one of them, but you can look, for example, at a guy like Peyton Pritchard, who came out from under the heel of Ime Udoka and now is a perennial 6 man of the year guy, a guy any championship team would want to have off the bench. And I think that's kind of what you're looking at for Reed. Would have been nice to have Stephon Castle. I'll tell you that.
It would have. Keith threw out there, Şengün is actually good. He just lost his confidence, and he mentioned the Ben Simmons effect. We will actually jump on Şengün later on, Keith. So hold on to that thought. So Vala, I want to switch gears here with you. So Ime, where are you at on Ime right now? Hot seat, should be gone. Couple more years. What you think?
I mean, personally, I don't like his coaching style. I think he is a championship caliber coach with the right pieces. Do I think he can maximize or amplify his roster's talents to overcome things and become championship level? I don't think he's that good. But again, the guys respect him, right? He threw everybody under the bus in some of those post-game interviews, and they all came out and took accountability for it several games afterwards. For this roster, for this group of young guys, and for the leadership they have established in Fred, Kevin, and Uncle Jeff Green to an extent, I think he works. They all respect him and buy in. And I think that matters in the NBA, especially when you got a guy like KD. I don't think, we got a comment from Wes. He's like Mark Jackson, a good builder, but not a championship coach. I think that's a pretty fair assessment of him, to be honest.
100%
Do I think we can still win a championship with him at the head coach position with some roster tweaks? It's possible. But I don't think he's going anywhere. Again, just with what the Fertittas have kind of voiced, the success he brought to us after being at an all-time low prior to last year, the culture he has in the locker room. I think he's got another year leash, and most importantly, more than anything else in these hard times, he just got an unprecedented 6-year extension after his series against the Warriors, and they're not going to want to let go of that just after a year of underperforming.
True.
So I think he's here to stay at least for another season.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I'll say this. It's really hard to find a good coach, right? It is really, really hard these days to find a really good, legit coach. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that I feel like this year he really put his ass on that hot seat, right? Especially, I'm not putting the point guard stuff on him. I blame that more on Rafael Stone than I do on Ime. But how many blown double-digit leads need to happen in the fourth quarter plus overtime for it to finally like understand? Because there was a stretch, I want to say like early on in the year, so maybe like November, December, where the Rockets had like 4 or 5 games in a row where they lost the lead and lost. So at what point do you, as the coach, take accountability for that? And I give JJ Redick a lot of credit for this, because when he's wrong, he will go to that presser and say, hey, I messed up. I should have did this. I should have, we had a game plan, but, I didn't stick with it or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Ime, whether it's right or wrong, he will throw his guys under the bus. And it's just kind of like he's not taking accountability for the fact that he should have called timeouts when there should have been timeouts. He should have done this. He should have done that. Like, there was no accountability from him.
Yeah, that was weird to watch.
There's actually a clip from him on his part of the exit interview that I want to show you real quick.
The rest of our team is doing what they should be doing. I think we'll be in a good place.
Both of you guys, do you expect changes to the offensive structure and or the coaching staff for next season?
Offensive structure, I would say the ability to play different ways with the personnel that was missing. That should obviously change. You look at your floor general kind of being out and how we had to kind of adjust on the fly, and with our choice to stay with Reed and Amen and give those guys a really good look at the point guard position, it changed some of the things we could do, no doubt. Situational things and the game situations, but that was a choice we made, and I think it will help us long term. But having certain guys back, I think Steven is very underrated in what he does for us, and so losing him halfway through definitely affected us as well. And so just the versatility and Reed and Amen growing this year, and not having to rely on Kevin as much or Alperen as much, and having a point guard back should definitely help the offensive structure flow of things, and winning at certain points and not losing late game situations. And so in the totality of the guys that we have back, I think in general we should look better, we should look different, and close out the games and have some of the lumps and ups and downs that we had at the end of games. And so it'll be exciting to see that part in general. Coaching staff wise, no, I don't see any changes.
Okay, Vala, I don't know. Well, I know we probably took 2 different things from this, but what I got was he didn't take accountability, and there's not going to be any changes to this, how the offense is structured for the 26-27 year. So Rockets fans that are in the chat, which there's 10 of you, like, thank you guys, appreciate it, that are watching right now. Just a fair warning, what we saw this year, even with Fred and Steven and everybody healthy and back, the offense is still going to be the same. Vala, what you just saw, you go right ahead.
Well, all right. Goddamn.
I agree, Wes. I agree. It is your job to find the answers to problems. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Take accountability.
No accountability for that matter. I think Ime is a little high on his small sample size success. I've heard the Rockets series against the Warriors referenced multiple times by this coaching staff. Before I get into that, though, can you pull up something for me, Evan? Can you pull up the OKC Thunder coaching staff?
Yeah.
Every championship contender that I look at when we had these nationally televised games where they fan out during a timeout and they go to their bench and they look at their coaching staff, you've got basketball minds, you've got former head coaches, you've got, specialists. I remember the most successful Rockets season we watched in 2018 with Kevin McHale. People forget the genius behind that team was defensive guru Jeff Bezelic. And him not being there for the first half of 2019 blundered their start to the season. So to say there's going to be no change in the coaching staff, just a lack of accountability, a lack of responsibility, any kind of responsibility for the shortcomings of this team that we saw over the course of 82 games that we all predicted. Like, they were all very predictable things. And the only defense of that kind of behavior for Ime would be to say, all right, well, hey, you went up against the Warriors in the first round last year with your full crew, and you took them to 7. And the Warriors were the team with the second best record in the NBA post All-Star break with the best defense, and you almost beat them. And they probably would have gone to the conference finals if they didn't lose Steph in the first game of the next series. So is that really what you want to rest on and lean on in terms of your refusal to change and adapt? If that is, I think we're in for some frustrating times at Rockets fans. But let's see. Let's see what happens with this roster. I think there's still moves to be made.
Got a comment. To be honest, it felt like I didn't see any change in the offensive approach. Yeah, neither did us. So there was none, and there was no accountability. So we are
the only change I saw, to be honest with you, was when Reed got 12 minutes of playing time in game 2 of this series. And from that point on, I saw a concerted effort game 3, 4, 5, and 6 to really showcase him, to really have him out there, to get that gravity and to run more of a pick and roll with Al P and a little more handoff action with Amen. Other than that, though, Ime's been a guy who just refuses to change. He's stubborn to a fault with his offensive approach. And, a lot of Rockets fans would say, what offensive approach? What are you talking about? And you wouldn't be wrong.
You wouldn't be wrong. Got another comment. Yeah, I mean, again, you are not wrong. You are not wrong, man. You are not wrong. So, yeah, well, frustrating times right now as the Rockets. But, as we start to bring this in for a landing, so what's next, right? Like, obviously, moves need to be made. Obviously, it was a very underperforming year, to Rockets fan standards. Obviously, we had injuries, but what team doesn't? So what's next for you? What do you think the Rockets should do moving forward?
Yeah, so 2 things. One, it's going to be, what do I think they should do? And then 2, what do I think they're going to do? And I think this is one of the more predictable front offices in the NBA. So let me start with number 2. What do I think the Rockets are going to do? I don't fucking know. We don't even know if KD is going to be here. Like, there's been so much media stirring the pot about his status in the locker room and how the other players feel. The Athletic leaking that nobody really ever fully got over his burner account, roasting everybody online. But what I think the Rockets are going to do is I think they're going to keep KD in house. I think they're going to bring the core back. The core being Jabari, Fred, Alp, Reed, and I think they're going to move on from Tari Eason. I don't know if he's going to. I don't know if he's going to get a better deal in restricted free agency that we choose not to match. There's always desperate teams out there with money to throw around, but I think I love Tari, man. The Terror Twins. It was such a fun experience, but I think ultimately. There's other guys at the wing position that would benefit our offense and our ability to stretch the court and complement these guys. Now, roster moves that I hope that they make, that I think they will make, is moving on from a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith, who's basically going to be an expiring contract. He's not guaranteed past next year in terms of his contract. I think packaging him, maybe 1 or 2 of those picks you still have in that pot, and then I don't know if you throw in a guy like Reed or if you throw somebody else in for some kind of a wild card playmaker that this team needs. I think you need another offensive playmaker. I don't think, again, hinging your hopes on a 32 going on 33-year-old Fred VanVleet coming off an ACL to be your playmaker and pressure alleviator off of your 38-year-old Kevin Durant is necessarily the way to go with this. And you got to hope Amen takes another step. You got to hope that him being put back in that short roll, kind of like free safety position, can allow him to be another all NBA first team defender. I think he'll win second team all defense this year, but allow him to really focus on that and just being the freak that he is. So bolster up the bench, get your guys back, maintain that continuity, and hope Amen takes another step, I think is what the Rockets are going to do.
Got a comment for you. Excuse me. As far as the rosters go, honestly, Lord have mercy. Honestly, we need more depth on the bench and get an actual center that you can develop and have LP in his natural position, and I mean rim protecting center. Yeah. I mean, I would definitely. Well, that's what Steven Adams is for, honestly, just to be able to have that, So
that's
obviously
the best
losing
LP's
him
looked.
sucked. But question for you though. So when Steven went down, why wasn't one of your favorite players, Clint Capella, like how come he wasn't getting minutes? This is the crap that I'm talking about with Ime. Like, hello, like you got him for a reason. So anyway, I don't know. Hold on. Sorry, we got another comment from your boy Keith. Why are you not trying to develop Aaron Holiday? Honestly, that's a good question too. I actually like Aaron Holiday. I don't understand why he didn't play as much as he should have, honestly. Hell, honestly, there's your point guard right there. Like
he's serviceable.
I don't know.
He's serviceable. Yeah, he'll hit the open 3-point shots. He'll break a defense down off the dribble. He's a Holiday, so he's a competitive dude. But the defensive limitations with Aaron are tough to overcome sometimes, and that's the same thing with Reed. Ime loves his guys. Ime loves his guys who can play defense and play ugly basketball. And unfortunately, both the point guards on this roster currently, and Reed Shepherd and Aaron Holiday, aren't those things.
What's next? What's next?
You think KD's a Rocket?
I do. Yeah, I do. I don't see a situation where we bring in a guy like him and then turn around and trade him a year later. I just like for some reason that doesn't sit well with me. If they did end up trading him, it better be for a lot.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Jaylen Brown straight up. You do it?
Ooh. I don't know if I do it straight up. I don't know. I don't know.
Boston fans commenting in on this saying, hell no, we wouldn't do it straight up. Get out of here. Throw Ahmed in, throw Reed in, throw a first round pick in.
Hold on. I got before I talk about what's next on my end, your buddy Keith, sorry, not that one. Your buddy Keith said trade KD for Morant straight up. Hey, Keith, do me a favor, go back to work, brother. Just don't speak no more basketball. Absolutely not. No.
Came in guns a-blazing.
Sorry, got one more. Just Adams isn't no spring chicken either, but honestly love him. Yeah, I mean Adams is one of those blue collar guys. Hard not to love him. So yeah, no.
My girlfriend's favorite player.
Sorry, we got another one. Shout out to West again. Could an MPJ trade happen? Way less you have to give up. That's not bad. What if we did, hypothetically here, what if we did Atari MPJ swap? That way we have our scoring on the wing, right?
Yeah, the salary situation, right? Yeah. MPJ makes like $40 million a year. Tari's probably looking at about a 20 to 30 million a year restricted free agency target. You'd have to throw in so much more money to make that work. And MPJ, you're basically telling yourself you're tanking your biggest prospects, Jalen Green and Dylan Brooke, amount to MPJ. And I don't know if that necessarily gets you over the hump.
Yeah, I don't know either. But yeah, Ja would definitely get kicked off the team in a week, Keith, 1,000%. Especially living in Houston. What's understood don't need to be explained, brother. If I'm looking at draft prospects, as far as point guards go, I'd probably look at, who is that? LeBrandon Fillon Jr. out of Alabama.
Is he coming out of the draft this year?
I don't know. I feel like I didn't really watch a lot of Alabama this year. I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna check him out. But Rockets also, we don't have a first round this summer, do we? I think it's next draft that we have that.
You're right.
Yeah. So, anyway, so what's next for me? First and foremost, fire Stone. Get him out. Get him out. Just get him out the city. I'm sorry, I can't do it. That's first and foremost. But I think, and again, you're not wrong. I think that this team should get a fair chance at, let's see what everybody can do, or let's see where this team can go if everybody's healthy. I do believe that. But man, it was just a thorn in my side just watching this team, and it's just watching them struggle without a point guard, watching them struggle without another primary scorer. I think we should go out and get another scorer. Now, who that is, I don't know. Who do we want to give up? Also don't know. But having somebody else on that wing that can put the ball in the basket to kind of alleviate Kevin Durant at times, and not put so much pressure and minutes on his body. He's starting to become old. I would love another scorer. And I did see from Bleacher Report that, the Rockets should target guys like Donovan Mitchell, Tyler Hero, Peyton Pritchard, one of Wes's favorites. So I know Wes is in here. Darius Garland, which I'm not mad at any of those. I did see. I thought I saw Kyrie on that list as well. Wes, if you're in here, put the players of that Bleacher Report thing that I sent you in here. But yeah, I would love to see the Rockets go get another scorer. I would love to see them at least get another backup point guard. Doesn't have to be nobody crazy, but just maybe somebody in free agency, maybe Kobe White, like somebody that can come off the bench and really just apply pressure at that point guard spot. And man, I would love to see this team really contend for a championship, not compete, Rafael Stone, that we are going to go get a championship. That should be the mindset. So, oh wait, yeah. So apparently, the Phillips or Phelan kid is coming out with Darius Acuff. Interesting. Okay. All right. I'm sorry, Keith, but Kingston Fleming is going to be a lottery pick. He will not be with us. Yeah. So I don't know. But yeah, man, life of a Rockets fan right now. It's tough.
Here we are, year after year in May, having this conversation. At least we're having a conversation, right? Like 2-3 years ago, or even further back, 4 or 5 years ago, we're coming back here talking about like Christian Wood being the answer and being the hope going forward, or KPJ. I mean, I'm talking a lot of crap about KPJ. KPJ low key had himself a season in Milwaukee this year. Might even be the answers to all our problems if we get that desperate. Hopefully, we don't ever have to get there.
No.
But I think
we are not doing another KPJ experiment. Absolutely not. No.
I would not. I would rather do the Deshaun Nix experience over again before I do KPJ, and that's saying 100%. A lot. I think the blueprint's there, though, man. I think there's reason to be still optimistic as Rockets fans. I know it's a punch in the stomach, but the blueprint's there, and there's a lot of options. I'm seeing Giannis pop up in the chat there from Keith. There's other names that are going to be available. And sometimes, man, like the way the NBA works, you don't even realize a guy is available up until like a couple days. And if you have those resources and you have the flexibility in place to be able to make a move when the opportunity presents itself, basketball's a weird sport. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. So yeah, Giannis, Ryan Rollins, I'm pretty sure that's what Wes meant to say, and then Tyler Hero. I actually like the Tyler Hero pickup. If there was a way we could get Tyler Hero, I wouldn't be mad. Now, Amin and Tyler Hero are going to have to, make amends and figure this out from, obviously what happened a couple years ago. But I wouldn't mind a Tyler Hero pickup. Got another one. Darius Garland honestly isn't bad because there's a point guard there, but he would have to take a backseat to Fred.
You'd honestly
I mean,
you'd have to
is it
use
a
Fred's
backseat?
contract to get Darius Garland. So you'd have to trade Fred, which again,
You think so?
just who Fred is to this locker room, to this team, to the front office, what he represents. I think short of Steph being available, they're not trading Fred for anybody. And it sucks because there are some really, really complimentary guys that would fit in well. Like Garland would be perfect for this team. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, absolutely. As we bring this in for a landing, I got one more comment for us. Keith, give us Giannis for Sengun and Jabari. Now, if that were to go down, so I mean, obviously we're speaking hypothetically here. If that were to go down, one, that doesn't solve the problem as offense, as far as an offensive standpoint, in my honest opinion. Yes, Giannis can score with the best of them. He's one of the most efficient with the best of them, but he still can't shoot. So that doesn't really solve anything. So if that trade were to happen, then I would expect Stone to get in free agency and sign a buttload of shooters. I mean, a buttload.
Or trade Almond, right? Like the guy with your best plus minus in the playoffs and the regular season, Amen Thompson, who provides unbelievable just output for the minutes he's out there. How do you make that work with Giannis, right? Like what? Giannis at the 5, play small ball with Amen out there at the 4 with him, still kind of clogging things up. I don't know. Giannis would be amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's probably going to finish his career as the best power forward in NBA history. But just with this roster, man, it's tough. It's tough to think about what you'd have to give up for him and how you can make that fit with what you have left.
And also, he's also on the older side, and he's starting to pile up injuries himself. So
he's 32, right?
Would he? Yeah, or he if he's not 32, he's definitely like 30, 31. He's somewhere around there.
Okay.
But would you be willing to part ways with a 2-time All-Star in Sengun, a growing player in Jabari for an older Giannis who's starting to pile up injuries? I don't know. That's a tough one for the front office to answer. And like I said, if it were to go down, then Stone needs to sign a crap load of shooters. So that way there's shooters all around him.
What if the Bucks call you tomorrow morning and they say, we'll give you Giannis and a lottery protected first round pick for Amen Thompson right now? Gun to your head, do you make that deal?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Tough. Yeah,
I hate to see a man go, but if that's the deal, yeah.
Yeah, I think anytime you can get one of the best players in NBA history, one of the 20 best guys ever, you got to take it.
Ooh, I like this one. If there was a point guard I would have picked up personally, it would have been Lonzo Ball after he got released from Cleveland. But a stubborn front office. I 100% agree. Stone should have called CP and or Lonzo Ball. I forgot that he got released by the Cavs.
Lonzo looked so good when he started the season with them too. He's just got a floppy ankle, man. Like he physically just doesn't look like he can hoop anymore.
No. And then last comment, Russell Westbrook is what we need. We tried that experiment. Didn't work, Keith. Sorry. Man, Vala, I greatly appreciate you tagging along for this. I know I can always count on you when it comes to the Rockets. So thank you. Thank you very much. You got anything you want to say to the people as we're getting ready to sign off? Any hope for the Rockets fans?
Listen, have faith. Okay. We've been through some dark times. Better times are coming. And just don't ever forget, the greatest player in NBA history is playing playoff basketball right now. So don't miss it. LeBron James. Keep watching.
Oh, my God. I wish Wes was in the comments for that. But, man, thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you all for the comments. Rockets basketball will be back. And hopefully in our lifetime, Vala, the Rockets can win a championship. But catch us next time. Next time we will be talking about the NBA playoffs, the second round, and obviously going on for the conference and finals. So make sure you guys are up to date with that. But thank you, man. Vala, again, I appreciate you so much. But we signing out, man. I'm Evan. We got our guy Vala. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.
Back, you going out slice that. Boy, I'm all about my bag. New drip, I grab. I just want to get my life back. There's no complaining on this.